The beautiful Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace truck off the track, cars on the track as the green flag flies. Shane Essery leads him into turn one, but Aaron Marrant looks to make quick work of him, going to the outside, taking over the top spot and quickly running away from the field as Essery drops back to second.
Aaron Marrant riding a rocket ship around the Lucas Justified today to win the Triple Crown.
Triple Crown, second time in 4 years as Marrant off and running. 5 laps in, 15 laps remaining on the high side. Finnewald will look to challenge as he takes over second from Shane Essery. They fan out back behind him, single file 1 through 3 and 4. He will hammer down, head out of turn 4, see the green flag in the air, get a good fight from Finnewald to the inside. He has a great run, a car to the inside on the restart, slides through turns 1 and 2. 2 cars, now 4 cars side of that car. As Marrant, a much better restart this time, able to pull away by a good 2 car lengths. Essery to the outside, tries to make that high line work and get around Finnewald. He'll have plenty of momentum and take the second spot away, but Finnewald comes charging back on the inside.
Can he add a win in the month of June to his resume in 2018?
I'll tell you, in 3 laps. As the green flag flies, Marrant leads him into 1 and 2.
And we will get this B-Mod feature rolling. Jackson and Morton door by door as they come out of turn number 2. 3 wide, a few spots behind them. 3 wide further back in the field. Here on lap number 1, it'll be the 65 of Chris Jackson that will come around the scoring tower first.
How about that gaggle of cars there? That's a fight on back for 4th as your top 3 are already lined out, and Andy Bryant with a good run will get around Rusty Rickard.
Well, and watch Andy Bryant. If he picks off a few cars as makes his way to the front. He and Chris Jackson had an epic battle in their race earlier tonight, and I'm sure Andy Bryant would like nothing better than to pull up alongside that 65 one more time. You saw Hollywood, Robert Heidenreich, and the rest there battling in the middle of the pack. 5 cars in a clump as they come around turn 4. The 3 cars that have gotten out in front, Chris Jackson, your race leader, J.C. Morton, and that 4 money car of Brian Williams from Fayetteville, Arkansas, 1, 2, 3. And now in 4th place, there is the 28 of Andy Bryant. He started on the inside of row number 4. The young man from Fort Scott, Kansas, has graduated from high school this year. Now he's looking for a feature win here at the Lucas Oil Speedway.
Boy, amazing how long it has taken this group to kind of fill themselves out and get spread out as Heidenreich finally able to move out in front of Eric Turner. So that will calm that battle down. But then look at this gaggle again. You got the Wheatland Outlaw Striegel all the way back in the pack trying to work his way through on the high side. He's right behind Eric Turner. You've got the 46 of Brantley Gottschall just trying to mind his own business on that low side, but he's got company to the outside. And then 3 wide back behind them.
The drivers that are 1 and 2 in the points race here in the Ozark Golf Cars USRA B-Mods are 1 and 2 on the track. Chris Jackson, J.C. Morton, and then a great race behind them. Andy Bryant trying to take the 3rd spot away from Brian Williams.
How about starting 7th up to 4th, looking for more, trying to get inside of Williams.
Just out in front. It won't be too long before lap traffic becomes an issue for them, as there's just a straightaway between Jackson and the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, you saw that with those 2 cars and Williams and Andy Bryant right there, trying to find the brown part of the track. They were way low, way high, and now they're crossing over on each other, and Bryant able to take the advantage, but he goes straight down to the low side again and looks for that soft dirt.
He has been on the bottom most of this 25-lap feature. 10 laps in the book, 15 to go as that battle for 3rd and 4th continues to rage on here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks. Back and forth they go.
Low side 1 lap, high side the next time around. Bryant was all the way down, way on the cushion, and that allowed Williams to drift up high. Now they've just changed positions and trying each other's lines.
Here in our Big show run of the night, 25 laps for these B-mods. Trying to take home the big check tonight.
And out front, how about this? Chris Jackson gets caught up in lap traffic, and J.C. Morton on the high side tries to take advantage.
Morton riding the cushion around the top of the racetrack, throwing dirt up. He will fly around Chris Jackson. J.C. Morton jumps out in front now. The high line really working for the 18. The 2016 B-Mod National Champ. Over 150 feature wins to his credit, but now some lap traffic in his way. That allows Jackson to cut the differential down yet again.
Well, Rodney Corden was stuck between those two cars in a tough break.
You know that those two are going to love going at it here for 6 more laps. Green flag in the air, and we go back to racing. Bryant follows in the tire treads of J.C. Morton. Jackson goes to the bottom, slides up in front of both of them. But look at this. Driving over the outside of Jackson's car is J.C. Morton. Something broke off.
It's the hood.
They keep going here. Morton with all sorts of damage to the front, barrels into Jackson. Morton takes a tumble and spins out in turn 2. Holy cow.
And they stay green, able to get it righted. The field gets past them and they stay green.
All sorts of damage to the 18 that loses all sorts of track position. So now the battle that we saw in the heat race is the battle for the feature. Jackson in the 65 and Andy Bryant in the 20. Single file restart here with 4 laps to decide it. A good jump for the Lebanon, Missouri man, Chris Jackson. As he and Bryant go to the bottom of the track, Williams will try the high side and Striegel will go up there with him. Striegel now into the middle of the racetrack, trying to put a move on Brian Williams and take away the rod, starting to stick his nose in between Williams and Striegel to mix it up for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
And Taylor Moore has been consistently in the top 5 all season long. He's sitting there right now. He's got 2 top 5s already, 4th in the points. So he has been a consistent force in this division.
1 lap to decide it here. The white flag will go in the air for Chris Jackson. A dynamite battle between Jackson and J.C. Morton for the majority of the first 18 or so laps of this feature. Andy Bryant will not be able to close the gap. And for the 7th time this season, Chris Jackson is a race winner.
And 4, slow the pace down extremely before they finally roll out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air, and we are back to racing action. And Escamilla already having some trouble as some smoke comes out of the rear end there, but he will clear it out and take that lead down the backstretch and dive into turn 3. Whole host of cars behind Escamilla, 2 and 3 wide, as a car loops in the backstretch, or over in turn 4 actually, comes to a rest down on the apron. That is the 618 up down, 19 remain. Hammer down, green flag out. We're back to racing action as Escamilla leads them into turn 1. What a run by Hendrix. Alongside Escamilla already, Coates sits back in 3rd. And in short order, Hendrix out in front of the field, completing lap 2.
The Buckhorn Bullet, Shane, fired down the back straightaway to take the lead. So we've got a car up against the wall down the front stretch, but we keep racing.
Yeah, straightened it back out as Kenny Carroll got up a little sideways right underneath the flag stand. That will hurt his day as he goes from running in the top 7 positions all the way back almost outside the top 10 now. Coates inside, Escamilla now. That's a fight for 2nd. The Bayou Girl, the name of the car for that number 73 machine, as Coates moves into 2nd. Then they line out behind him. There's Toby Ott, who was the man on the move. He is stalled now, however, as he stays in 4th. But then Brian Shute right behind him in 5th.
Those are some big-time names with some big-time race cars battling about 1 through 5. Those top 5 spots, Hendrix, Coates, Ott, Escamilla, and Chute. Escamilla going the wrong way, and look at Chute try and get down underneath Toby Ott.
Escamilla led the pack 3 laps ago. Now he's back to 5th position, almost about ready to drop out of the top 5 as Chute takes that 4th spot away.
Shane Hendrix is really pulling away from the rest of the field too. Almost a 2.5-second difference between Hendrix back to Joplin, Missouri's Johnny Coates.
And Toby Ott looking to take that 2nd spot away as he dives to the inside. Brian Chute there as well, so a good 3-car battle on your screen as Ott stays down on that soft cushion inside. Brian Chute likes that line as well. There's your 2nd and 3rd place with Ott and Chute, and then in the back stretch, contact again. Welsh been in that top 3 position most of the night. He hasn't gone anywhere. He is right there again in 3rd as Hendrix gets a great run to shoot out in front of Toby Ott, and there's Chute back in 3rd, who already has gotten past Coates for that position, so Coates drops back to 4th.
Make that 5th as Dwayne Applegate Jr. puts his nose underneath the driver from Joplin, Missouri.
Applegate turned his best lap on that last lap. He got a great run on the inside and cruised past a couple of cars, working his way up to 4th. He's got Escamilla right behind him, and then Kenny Carroll, who took a wild ride earlier, so Carroll's done a great job to work his way back up to 6th.
Ott trying to close the gap between he and Hendrix. Less than a second, but boy, Brian Chute now all over the outside of that 27. As he is trying to make his way around the 2017 Big O Tire Street Stock defending champ. As you watch him through the exit of turn 4, and Chute's got the advantage.
Boy, you would think with Chute in the middle of the track and all that dry slick and Ott actually having a little bit of tack down low that Ott would have an advantage, but Chute just has so much more power as he is able to accelerate past him and grab that position.
Those are family-built engines, and that family is running this one now. 1 and 2, the cousins, leading the pack here in the street stocks with 11 down.
Just past the midway point, top 3 all spread out. A good 2-car lengths between each of those positions. Then it's a good 3-way battle back for 4th. As you see Kenny Carroll on the high side. That's Dwayne Applegate on the inside, and Kenny Carroll has come back from outside the top 10 to work his way up inside the top 5.
And see if that race car makes it to the end of this one. It looks like there's some sheet metal rubbing up against the tires. So much front end damage on the ditch digger's car. But boy, he was in the top 5, almost fell out of the top 10, and here he comes now, number 4 on the racetrack right now with 7 to go. And when you're that good, it looks easier.
Well, those 2 cars right there making it look extremely easy with Hendrix and Chute well out in front of the rest of the pack. Still nose to tail. Brian Chute just trying to find an answer down to a handful of laps left. 2 remaining. They'll see the white flag this time around and a big cushion. Now all David Hendrix has to do is get through 2 more laps without making a mistake.
Hendrix started on the inside of row number 2 behind Francisco Escamilla. He got shuffled to the back, and Hendrix has pretty much been on the point since then.
2 wins and a top 5 for David Hendrix. Lap traffic in front of him, but still plenty of room. The Buckhorn Bullet had 1 more left in the gun. He fires it home tonight and picks up win number 3 on the season at Lucas Oil Speedway.
Pitts Homes USRA Modifieds have 20 laps to crown a champ tonight, and Hendrix and Fuqua will take the green flag and fly down the front and into turn number 1. They fan out 3 wide times 3 behind Fuqua. He and Ronnie Woods get out 1 and 2. Lancetown trailing to the bottom of the track, currently in 3rd, but will slide up and grab the number 2 spot. So the teammates 1 and 2, Fuqua and Town. Lancetown with 1 win on the season, 10 top 10s. Shane mentioned still looking for that first win here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks this year. Big bunch of racing behind our leaders. As you see Mike Striegel trying to get around Evan Hubert, he does. Striegel already has a top 5 feature finish tonight. He's out here for more.
Much like the street stocks, 1 and 2 in points, 1 and 2 in the race, as Fuqua leads the point standings both here at Lucas Oil Speedway and nationally. Lance Towns second in points here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. He sits third in the national point standings.
Only 20 points separate Fuqua and Town, 1 and 2 here. As you look at Hubert all the way up against the cushion as he comes around and tries to get around that 98. Rim riding around the Lucas Oil Speedway, that golden hot rod. Fuqua the last time by, a little better than a second lead on number 2 Lance Town. And that lead has grown here. So they've got 5 laps in the books, 15 to go. Look at Ronnie Woods and Mike Striegel give battle now. Woods has the 3rd spot, Striegel in 4th. Wheatland Outlaw trying to take the spot away.
Fuqua checking out already. Half a straightaway advantage over Town, who has another half a straightaway advantage over Striegel. We should have asked him before the race, is this the car he ran 2 weeks ago, or is this the backup car that Heidenreich drove that was so much better, just so much speed? He won 4 championships in his backup car, went to a brand new car this year, just was not where he wanted it to be. Did not run all that well in the Show Me 100 weekend, those 3 weekends. He let Robert Heidenreich, a B-Mod driver, come in, run his backup car, and for lack of a better way to put it, got outran by a B-Mod driver in a backup car. So which car is he in? Not quite sure, but he's having a good showing tonight.
We may have to go down and ask him when this one's all said and done. Right now, though, he's racing hard with Ronnie Woods, who's got 8 top 10s on the year, but nobody's running with Darren Fuqua. He is running out all by himself, and now we'll start to encounter some of that lap traffic. As you see the battle back behind him, it's Fuqua, Town, Striegel. This is the battle for 4th with Ronnie Woods and Jeff Cutshaw.
Quite honestly, the best battle right now as far as top 5 cars are concerned. Everybody else is stretched out. And Ronnie Woods, who started up front in 2nd, went back in a hurry, but he is having a great battle right now with 10 time.
Darren Fuqua in that MB Custom race car from Mayetta, Kansas. It's a 4.5-hour drive, but it has been worth every minute of it to come to Lucas Oil Speedway this year. 3 wins here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks already, looking to make it 4 tonight.
Car headed off the track.
1X of Matt Johnson. He makes the hard right turn and exits, and we are 13 laps down here. Now just 6 laps remaining. Fuqua gets around the 21 now. Continues to pick them off one by one. 1, 2, 3 cars in between he and teammate Lance Town. The 21T solidly in 2nd place. Mike Striegel a few cars back of him in the 17 and 3rd. Cutshaw now has got around Ronnie Woods to take over the 4th spot. Woods rounds out the top 5 as you look at that big-time bail bonds.
Striegel now putting on a move on Lance Town.
Striegel trying to take the number 2 spot away from Town and break up the teammates, looking for a 1-2 finish. Striegel has the inside line. Town rolls it around the top of the track. You see how dark the track has gotten from the start of the night to now. It is dry, it is slick, and it is fast. Fuqua will see the white flag first here. The battle behind him for 2nd. Town trying to stay in front of Mike Striegel. The Wheatland Outlaw up on the wheel will try and get around him. But Darren Fuqua will continue his dominating season. He is the dream crusher